Now, the social stigma of internet dating is becoming outdated. We turn to the computer for everything else. Now it's just giving new meaning to a high-speed connection. In fact, a Nielsen poll found 1 in 4 adults have gone online looking for love. But how does it work, and does it work? News Source 16's Nohelani, Graf, and Ryan Cummings profile a man and a woman logging on for love. Guys?
Well, Matt, the fairy tales make it look so easy. You fall in love and live happily ever after. But what if you didn't?
Now you're divorced, widowed, a single parent, or maybe Mr. Right always seems to get the wrong address.
So how are you supposed to find the one when you have a million other things going on?
For 40 million Americans, the answer is online. At 34, the hottest thing in Jeannie Odom's life was her cooking. A handful of serious relationships that washed out. She sold her house for the last one and ended up living with friends, shrinking her social circle.
I did not like dating, and that I didn't go out, and I was never going to meet anyone.
Every woman's favorite clock ticking away, mounting pressure from the parents.
Years. My grandparents, when am I going to get me a great grandbaby? And my parents, and oh yeah.
Then the light bulb went on.
How long am I going to say, okay, well, Mr. Right is going to just stumble in my door and there he's going to be? I knew that wasn't going to happen.
But going online?
Online dating. Ew. You know, I was just, I didn't want to be one of those that, oh my gosh, she's so desperate, she's got to find a man online. And I didn't want that stigma. But at the same time, I really wanted to meet someone.
And she's not alone. DatingSitesReviews.com counts 47 different websites, some specified for age, race, religion. 12 of them have 1 million users. eHarmony and Match.com each have 20 million subscribers. So how do you choose? For Jeannie, a commercial hooked her.
Start communicating, start connecting at eHarmony.com.
Even then, she wasn't sold.
It was a long process. I got on and then I got off, and then I got on and I talked myself out of it, and then I got back on again. It probably took about 4 tries for me to actually finish the profile.
A profile made up of hundreds of questions, but after 4 tries, 2 months, she finally clicked with someone.
Best $99 I ever spent.
Guys have a different approach to online dating. According to AskMen.com, some go online for sex, others for dating, but millions actually do want a relationship. Bottom line, everyone online is looking for some sort of connection.
Didn't really want to go frequent bars or dance clubs or that kind of thing to try to meet women.
Before logging on for love, Quint Sterry was engaged for nearly 2 years.
It was kind of a hard breakup.
2 months before the wedding, he found out she was cheating.
And pick up the pieces and move on.
And in his case, head online. Quince was in his early 30s and once again found himself single.
I had heard about the internet dating as an option and thought I'd give it a try.
But meeting the right girl is not easy, especially if you're looking for a committed relationship.
I really like that and enjoy the companionship and the joy that brings, so I knew I wanted to find that again.
But he had his reservations about going online.
I had my own kind of preconceived notions about, you know, how this is going to look to other people and that sort of thing.
But he moved his mouse anyway and logged on to Match.com.
Met a few girls, had a few dates from that.
And some were, let's just say, a little more memorable.
She had a picture up there which represented herself, but it was clearly a high school picture from about 15 years previous.
After 6 months on Match.com with no real success, he decided to head to another site.
See who's truly right for you.
eHarmony.
Imagine spending your time actually meeting the people who share what's most important to you.
Hoping to be matched with the perfect mate.
You know, I guess it's to your benefit to be as honest as you can on that, and that way it matches you up with people that are like-minded.
Like Jeannie Odom.
Quince was the first one I talked to on the phone and the only one that I went on a date with.
Jeannie was definitely the first person that I actually got to meet face-to-face.
He said, you choose the place and I'll meet you there.
Our first date was at the Lucky Noodle.
The Lucky Noodle. Just the picture from his profile was all I had. And he looked totally different. His hair was longer and everything.
I recognized her instantly when she came in. And
I looked across the restaurant and I pointed at him. And he pointed at me. I was like, oh.
We had a good dinner and decided we wanted to see each other again. And
second date turned into a third, and here we are.
The rest is history.
Fast forward 5 years, Jeannie and Quince are a happily married couple.
The love gets stronger every day, and I do. I feel like I've known him for forever.
Oh, what a precious.
And the proud new parents of 3-month-old Cade.
You just held up the pregnancy test thing, and it was a good, happy moment.
Oh my gosh, is it really happening?
A modern-day match.
You met at the park? How strange. But I think it's becoming so much more and more common that you don't get that reaction that you used to get when you hear that somebody met online. So these days, I think it's a lot more standard.
Now the poster couple for what could happen if you log on for love.
I've got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
It's never too late to start your life.
We want to thank Jeannie and Quince for sharing their story with us. Now, to make it work for you, keep this in mind. According to economists at MIT, profiles with photos get twice as many responses.
And women have 15 minutes to make a first impression. Men, you've got about an hour before she decides if you're going to be going on a second date. Matt?
Great stuff. Thank you very much, guys. If you've got a virtual Valentine, the Better Business Bureau wants you to avoid heartache and financial hurt, and there are 3 online dating schemes to watch out for. First, fraudsters pose as attractive signals, gain your trust, then invent a story so you'll send them money. Next, prowlers. They scan internet sites for intimate details so they can commit identity or financial theft. And then phony matchmakers use misleading contracts to lure in singles, and victims end up paying big but don't receive any services or dates. Now, to avoid getting scammed, resist high-pressure sales tactics. Take time to review agreements. Check out web companies with the BBB. Also, don't release too much information. Before posting personal details and photos, review privacy settings and policies. It's normal to shell out some cash during a date, but be wary of love interests who ask for money, especially by money transfer. Use your head first, then your heart. Hold off on giving contact information. Make your first date in a public place and make it a double date or bring friends.